Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our video. So in this one, we're going to talk about the upcoming Scorpion character that they are going to add to Injustice Mobile with the next update. That's pretty much confirmed because they just put up a photo with Scorpion, and it's most likely gonna be the Scorpion from the new MK Mobile, the MK Mobile 1 that they're releasing, so that they also promote their game in this way, I guess. And the gameplay that you're going to see on screen is going to be the IGN gameplay that they posted like 3 months ago of Scorpion versus Johnny Cage. But looking at that, Scorpion is gonna be maybe kind of the baseline that they're going to use in terms of what he does and what his abilities are. Now we're going to get into the character that we're going to get in Injustice Mobile. So first of all, he could be either a gold character or a legendary character. And at the same time, he could form a team with your already existing MK characters, like Sub-Zero and Raiden, and those two would maybe get a rework, or he would be a standalone character. Those two are facts that we don't know. But if he's a legendary character, he might have a soul rate, and if he's a gold character, he for sure will only be accessible through the Injustice Mobile Pass for the first month, because you're basically paying for early access, and then it's gonna be in a chest or in a challenge. That's as far as the options we have here, where it's gonna be either one of the two. Now, let's talk about gameplay a little bit, because that's at the end of the day what this video is about, gameplay predictions for Scorpion. First things first is gonna be the AI that he's gonna use. When a character gets made in Just Mobile, there are two choices. You either use some already existing AI that has been in the game for quite a while and works well enough and kind of fits the character theme. Like, for example, how they use the Joker AI for Last Laugh Joker. I mean, kind of makes sense, but at the same time, not really. But yeah, they did that, for example, or how they use the Cheetah AI for Vixen, or they might just straight up put a new AI in the game, like for example how they did for Shazam, and that was a big failure. Now, out of the two options, if they were to reuse an AI that's already in the game, I think the Red Hood AI, and by AI I don't necessarily mean how the enemy plays it, I mean how the character functions and feels on a baseline level, meaning the tap attacks, the rush attacks, the jump attacks, swipe down attacks, the tag attacks. Those, if they are copied from somebody, I think Red Hood will definitely be the best fit in that regard, because he's got some snappy combos and he's got stuff that's feels a bit too rough for Injustice Mobile, to be fair. When that man pulls out the knife, you know he means business. And yeah, I wouldn't mind if he got the Red Hood AI too much, because that's a good AI, that's a solid AI, and that is something that I enjoy playing. And I wouldn't mind if they build a whole new AI around Scorpion and made him feel very different from any character that we have currently in the game. The only problem I have with that is that it might be garbage, because there's very rare instances when they make a new character AI and it works without a problem. But we're gonna see how that goes. Now, as far as abilities are gonna go, I'm not gonna get too much into the passives because those might have a synergy with the other MK Mobile characters or might not. But as far as the abilities, the ones that you press, the one that actually have an animation, first of all, he's gotta have the get over here thing. That's just too iconic for Scorpion. And I'm not sure how that's gonna work in Just Mobile, because pulling people closer to you the way that he does it in the games is gonna require hitting that long range thing, which is gonna be regarded by the Injustice Mobile game as kind of a projectile type of deal. And in Injustice Mobile, we don't really have the best relationship with projectiles, because the enemy AI tends a lot to block them or jump over them. Now, if they gave that projectile attack a unblockable, that would be a whole different deal. And I'm not sure how the pull mechanic works, because I don't think we have anything in the game actually at the moment that is going to make characters switch places. Like, we have things that knock the enemy down, that knock the enemy a bit away, but those are kind of things that apply for everything. Every special has those couple of options. Like you either knock them down, you either stagger them a bit, you either knock them a bit further. But we don't have something that switches the position of the character that much. Maybe let me know if I'm missing it. We have grab attacks. But yet again, pulling somebody towards you from the other side of the screen is not something that we have in the game, so it's gonna be pretty interesting if that gets implemented to see how exactly they do it. Again, no guarantee it will, but I would love if it did. Also, why do I have no light on? Okay, that's better. Okay, so yeah, it's gotta have the get over here type of deal. It has to have that, let's say, as a special one. Maybe it stuns the enemy after you get it towards you. Maybe it pulls the lower health enemy in arena in the fight, because I think it does that in the MQ mobile game. Maybe you deal increased damage against that target for a short duration after you pull them towards you. I don't know what exactly it's gonna do, but it has to have something like that. Like, come on, guys, how can we have a Scorpion without get over here? Bro, actually, on a side note to this, I remember a very bad joke, but that's kind of good. A yo mama joke. Your mama's so fat that Scorpion said stay over there, or your mama's so ugly. I don't know, but yeah, back to this. Other abilities he might have. In MK Mobile, Scorpion's type of gameplay is gonna revolve around of teleporting behind the enemy, and he kind of does it through some fiery portals. And that brings me to the next point. Fire, bleed, and demons. Those are going to be themes that could be present in his build. He might have something that burns the enemy target. It might have something that does increase damage against the enemy target. It might have something that gives the ability to burn the target for other MK characters. Maybe they also benefit from it. The bleed mechanic is not something that's too explored in just mobile. Like currently there's the Black Manta version of a bleed, which just disables healing. Would be fun if we had some sort of bleed mechanic that's gonna constantly deal dot damage to the enemy, and it's going to scale infinitely, maybe to a certain cap where let's say you hit the enemy and you're gonna have 1 second bleed. That stack of bleed is going to deal 1 damage per second. Just a random example so you have easy to grasp values when we talk about this. Let's say that's going to deal 1 damage per second. You hit them again, apply bleed again, you stab them again, it's going to do 2 damage, 3 damage, 4 damage, and it's going to get refreshed with each stack. The older stacks are not going to expire, and by the end of the fight, let's say you get to the point where you do, let's say 1k damage because you did 1000 hits on the enemy, though obviously higher values than this. That would be fun to have that level of a bleed mechanic. And he's also got a thing with demons where he kind of summons demons and stuff like that. I've seen that with Enchantress. I mean, we've seen that with Enchantress, and it is to an extent interesting and fun to watch, but it does not have too much of a gameplay functionality. I really hope it does have a dedicated summon ability, or if it does, that it's a good dedicated summon ability, because kind of all the summon abilities we have in the games are kind of gimmicks rather than the strong points of that character. Like, for example, Darkseid's Parademons are fun to use, but they're not great. Brainiac summons, they're not great either. But yeah, not sure about the demons. Maybe it's gonna be only something graphical. Maybe it's also gonna have some functionality. Maybe he has a summon, or maybe none of those of the above. But yeah, if they're gonna do a Scorpion just immobile, I think this is kind of how it's gonna go. But we're gonna talk more about it whenever we get more information on this. Maybe a gameplay reveal. But yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!